anyone that grew up with me or had been in my house like growing up could tell you that my house was extremely old, and it just was very creepy. And yes, I'm doing this from my closet because I was putting away clothes. But stitching this video, there is something that I think about that still gives me the absolute heebie-jeebies. And it's not really something that I talked about with other people other than like my mom. When I was younger, I think I moved into that house when I was like 7 or 8. And between 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade, I had not like an imaginary friend. There was like a real man that I called Mr. Alexander that I talked to all the time. He asked me how school went. I would tell him. He asked me, you know, how practice went. I think I was playing soccer for like Tri-Township at that time. I would tell him about my soccer practice. Like, I don't remember a lot of our conversations, but the ones that I do remember were stuff like that. And my mom worked at a nursing home in town, and she just genuinely believed that sometimes when her patients would pass on, that they would come and visit me. And I was just very like, well, they would visit her, but because I was so sensitive to stuff like that, I would see them, talk to them, etc. I don't remember a lot of it. I don't remember discussing it with my sister, my brothers, like none of that. Well, Mr. Alexander went away my whole childhood. Like, I did not, when I like transitioned, I think out of elementary school and like into middle school and stuff, and you can sit here and think I'm crazy, that's fine. Like, I'm okay with that. I didn't see or talk to him or even remember him. Like, I did not think about him until I was about 16 or 17. My aunt had come to visit us, and she was gonna stay the night. My aunt is, and anybody that knows her, and just by describing her, you'll know which aunt I'm talking about, the most down-to-earth, humble person, smokes a little weed once in a while. Like, she is definitely definition of the cool aunt. She's just a great human being. And she's never really been mad at me. I think one time I can think of her being mad at me, and this is the other time that I'm about to talk about 6:30, 7 o'clock. I have never in my life experienced anything like this with her. She was like jabbing me. Like, I'm talking full on, get up, wake up, super upset with me. I'm half awake. And I look up like, what is going on? She said, I'm very disappointed in you. You know, I'm young, I've been there, done that, but you need to go speak to your mom and apologize and tell her. And I'm like, what? Like, what are you talking about? She said, why did you think that it was okay to have your boyfriend over last night? I said, boyfriend? I said, what? And at this point, my stepdad was working overnights, my older brother was working overnights, and my other brother was in the army, so he's gone. So, like, nobody was home. Like, there was no males home. And she knew that, which I think is why this really set her off. She said, well, there's no way, even if one of them came home, it wasn't them, because this man was very, very tall. And my boyfriend at the time was over 6 foot, and my stepdad and brothers were not. She was like, well, it was definitely him, because he's tall, and he had the exact same build. And I'm like, still half asleep, like, very upset, because she's basically yelling at me, and she's never yelled at me before. I'm like, no, he had a wrestling tournament a couple towns over. This is, I don't know what you're talking about. By this time, we have made it out to, like, the dining room. And my mom's up now, and she's telling my mom, like, you know, you need to tell your mom, like, you had a guy over last night. I don't, stop. Like, I'm getting upset. She's getting more upset. And my mom's like, calm down. Like, calm down. She's like, I don't think Autumn's lying. Like, I genuinely think he had a wrestling tournament out of town. I can always look on the school webpage and see, like, what their schedule is like. But I'm pretty sure I seen it on Facebook that they were going out of town this week. So I'm like, I told you I'm not lying. Like, I told you that. And my aunt was, everything in her, you could tell that she had definitely seen a man. Like, she was not lying about that, because this is something that really upset her. She proceeds to describe this man, and my mom right away was like, oh, I know who that is. And I'm like, what? Like, what? So here y'all are mad at me, and you know who that is? And my mom was like, yeah, she's describing to you Mr. Alexander. And it was like my stomach dropped. Every hair on my body went up. I thought I was going to throw up. I hadn't thought about seeing that man, nothing, in years. So I'm not really sure why all of a sudden he just kind of like popped back in just to check it out, I guess. I don't know. But I've never seen my aunt like that, and she really did see this man. And after she described him and kind of like what had happened, so my aunt was sleeping on the couch and I was sleeping on my bed, and I had a couch in my room, and she said this man kind of like walked by but was at the end of the couch near her feet, and kind of like, oh, she's awake, she's seen me, and then just kind of like skedaddled, basically, like turned around and like walked out. And that's why she thought it was like somebody that it wasn't supposed to be, like my boyfriend, because it was like, oh no, I got caught. I swear to y'all, I've never seen her like that, and I know for a fact that she's seen this guy. I know that. And the second she described him, you know, he's tall, he's this, he's that, I was like, okay, all right, she's not kidding. This is really him. And ever since then, I've just thought about, what did he want? Is he stuck in that home? Is he not crossing over? Like, the afterlife really just freaks me out, because why did I feel so comfortable talking to this random stranger who probably died 50, 60 years ago and was still checking up on me at 17? And he's not related to us, and that's something that we do know for sure. We don't have anybody in my family named Alexander. I've went through all of Ancestry, everything. This man was not related to me. Anyways, that's my ghost story.
So my question is, you said he died 50, 60 years ago. That's not adding up to me. I'm, unless I got something wrong, I could have missed something in the story. But you said that your mom knew this guy was a nurse at a nursing home. And I'm assuming that she was the nurse of this guy, because you said that when they pass away, they would come visit her and see you. Am I wrong? Like, how old is your mom? Like, what? I'm confused, because that would mean your mom would be like, you're almost 20. That'll take away 30. Okay, that makes, no, it doesn't. Because that would mean she was like 70. She was 70, because usually when you work at a nursing home, well, the ones here, you don't have to have a NA or a nursing license or anything. You don't have to have any of that. I think it's just a certification. So you have to go to high school, and then usually 2 years or something, a year or two for certification. So you're telling me that your mom was 72 years old. She's 72 years old right now. Yeah, that don't sound right. I know you have older siblings, but it still is not adding up. I don't know, friend. And maybe it was a mistake. It was just a mistake. We're going to charge that to your mind and not your heart. Okay? That was just a mistake. Now, well, I'd already told you guys about these creepy old man ghosts. We don't want them. We're not entertaining this creepy old man ghost that decided, oh, I would stick around and talk to this little girl, follow this lady home, and make friends with her daughter, her baby girl. That's not creepy at all. That's not creepy at all. And why'd you, like, where did he go? Like, it's understandable. Like, if you come, I guess, I don't know, ghosts come and find somebody to help them transition or help them be okay with transitioning to the next life. Okay, I got that. Usually they go away and don't come back, or they just stay. There's no disappearing. They just stay. So where did you go from, what age is middle school? Is middle school like 11 years old to 17? You were gone for 6 years, bruh. Where'd you go? And why'd you just magically pop back? And why was your auntie sleeping on your couch? If I was somebody's auntie and all the men were gone, there's other beds available, I probably would not sleep in my nephew's beds. Definitely not. What are we doing? But I thought she said she had another sister. Maybe she didn't. But I don't remember her talking about the sister being there. But I think she said she had another sister. I was sleeping in the other sister's bed. I was sleeping as the auntie's sister's bed, since her husband is at work. Or I would be like, niece, scoot over, or you sleep on the couch. Why am I sleeping on the couch? That's wild, friend. That your aunt was upset. Like, little girl, I don't need no great nephews and nieces. Like, stop it, stop it. The audacity that you would just bring this dude to here when it's me and your mom here. Like, your dad's not here, so you being real bold. That's crazy that her auntie was just not believing of her. Like, did you give her a reason to lie? Like, you give her a reason not to believe you? Like, that's weird that she wasn't believing. But she was like, I saw what I saw. So it was no other logic that could make sense. It couldn't have been an intruder. Like, that was never a thought, I guess. I don't know. That would have been my first thought. My first thought, because the audacity of your niece inviting her boyfriend over, knowing that you in her room sleeping on the couch. Yeah, that's real bold, friend. Would have never thought that. Like, you are begging for a butt beating. Like, what are we doing? You're not going to disrespect me like that. And I'm the visitor. Like, no, I'm the guest. No. So yeah, that's weird. And her first thought was, oh, your boyfriend came over instead of a intruder. Like, we didn't get up and investigate. We didn't get up and follow. We didn't do nothing. We just went back to sleep, I'm assuming, or went on with our lives. I don't know, because I feel like if that was the case, if you thought it was the boyfriend right then and there, you would wake her butt up. Like, your little boyfriend, you got him here? I wouldn't have waited until the morning. It was just, I don't know. Unless that was the morning time and it just happened. She was just like, oh, hey, you. I don't know. We needed more substance. I hope she went and investigate, but she went and investigate and didn't find nobody. Like, nobody was leaving the door. Because if I was asleep on the couch and I seen somebody and they saw me, I will be following them. I will be getting a weapon. I will be fighting, not flighting, fighting. So yeah, I don't know about that. That was just weird all the way, because it's like we need to ask questions as we're in these situations, or just reacting. Like, our brain need to be that fast. I need y'all to go and do some Sudoku or some crossword puzzles or eat some bananas, like whatever helps with the mind. Y'all need to get y'all mind sharp so it can think without you thinking, because that was interesting. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that. If I found out that my old ghost visiting friend that was a grown ass man came back to visit, and when he got saw, he was just like, oh, well, I'm gonna slip on out. Like, he came while you were sleeping, so he could have been coming while you were sleeping, and who knows what he was doing. He was probably laying up in the bed beside you. Nope, I don't know. I don't like that.
So my ghost story is a little different because my guy ghost was not a ghost yet. He was alive. So what happened was, this was a time back when COVID first started. So this was a few years ago actually, when COVID first started. And you remember how hard it was to find tissue, paper towels, and all that? Well, I was on the phone with my sister. She was taking her coworker, Miss Janice, around to different stores trying to find tissue, paper towels, and stuff. So Miss Janice was getting in and out of the car because she was going to different stores. Well, me and my sister were just talking, and all of a sudden, I heard the name Paul, or I thought of the name Paul, and I was like, I don't know anybody named Paul. Not first name anyway. No coworkers, no clients, no nobody. And so I was like, And I kept having this conversation with my sister. Miss Janice keeps getting in and out of the car. And then, and I keep hearing Paul. And when I hear Paul, I hear it here. Not here, but I hear it at my throat, like Paul. So she gets in our car a couple of more times, and I hear the name. And when Janice gets in the car and she stays in the car, instead of me hearing Paul, every once in a while, I hear Paul faster. Like, it got faster as she got in the vehicle and stayed there. It went from Paul, Paul, Paul to Paul, Paul, just faster and faster. And I was like, Erica, you have got to ask Miss Janice, do she know a guy named Paul? He's an older guy, living or dead. Just ask her, does she know a Paul? And Erica was like, girl, don't start that. Like, don't start that, because my sister, I just told my family my gift like 6 or 7 years ago. I've been gifted like this all of my life. I've always felt spirit. I've always known when a house had a spirit in it, a ghost, whatever you want to call it. I can always tell tension in a room, a lot of different things. I've been able to, I've had this gift from birth. Let's just say that. Anyway, so she's like, I don't start that. I don't want to, I don't want to ask her this. She really didn't want to ask her, but she went ahead and asked her. And Miss Janet was like, no, I don't know Paul. And I was like, yes, she do. Yes, she do. If she know a Paul, like Erica, tell her, think she knows a Paul. Tell her an older guy. His name is Paul. And I went on to tell Erica that, he's an older guy. He's very ill. He's probably going to die soon. I'm like, don't tell Miss Janice that part, because I don't know how, how she knows him. I don't want her to relay that type of message to anyone, but tell her that he wants to see his daughter before he passes. It's very important that his daughter comes to check on him. And I was like, Erica, it's something about his throat. I don't know if this man can't breathe. I don't know what it is, but somebody please. And I'm panicking at this point. Like, I feel real panicky at this point. And so she was like, Miss Janice, are you sure you don't know Paul? And then Miss Janice was like, well, what is his last name? And I can hear the questions. I don't know if I'm on speakerphone at this point or what, but I can hear Miss Janice ask the questions. And so Eric was like, well, what's his name? I was like, girl, I don't know. And then she was like, well, Miss Janice, what's his name? Me and Miss Janice at the same time I said Warren, and Miss Janice said Wren. Paul Wren. Warren Wren. Close enough for me. And so Miss Janice was like, yeah, I know Paul. She was like, but I haven't heard that name in over a year or more. She was like, but so I don't know if he's sick or not, but I can call and check. And so then Erica told her, well, my sister said that somebody needs to go and check on Paul. Is it something about his throat or something? He wants his daughter to come and see him. And Miss Janice was like, who told you this? And so she was like, my sister. And then she was like, oh. She said, oh, your sister, she can sense things or hear things. She was like, yeah. She was like, well, I believe in prophecy, so I'm gonna call my niece. That's my niece's father. So she calls her niece, and of course her niece don't answer. Well, the next day, my sister calls me, and she was like, so Miss Janice got in touch with her niece, and her niece wanted to know, who is this lady? What church do you go to? This is amazing. And she went on to say, yes, her dad's name is Paul Wren, and he is old, and he's very sick. And she used to go and see her dad every day and check on him all the time. But when her mom got sick, she stopped going to see her dad, and she started to send someone to see him and, check on him for her. And she would go see him periodically because now she's caring for her mom. She said, but I had been thinking about my dad, and I said I was going to go and see him tomorrow myself instead of sending somebody. She was like, but because of this, I'm going to go myself. Tell your sister, thank you. Thank you so much. She's truly blessed. She really has a gift, is what she said. Well, so she also told my sister to tell me that the throat thing, her dad has throat cancer. I was like, wow. Like, every time this happens for me, like, I shouldn't be all excited and shocked because it's happened a lot of times, but I'm still in awe, and I'm still like, wow, because God is amazing. Like, he will give you gifts that you really have to pray about how to use them and what they are about, and should I use them. I kind of stopped going to church because I didn't know what the church would think about my gift. So I just kind of was like, I know it comes from God because I know what people say. And so I just kind of, I'm very thankful for my gift. I wouldn't wish it away. I wouldn't pray it away. I'm very blessed to have it. I have 1,000 stories. Not 1,000, but I have a lot of them. But anyway, about Mr. Paul, I'm going to say a week and a half later after that happened or whatever, I was on my way to work, and I thought about Paul Wren, and in that moment, I knew he had passed. I knew he had passed over. I was like, gained his wings. And I just went on to work. Didn't think nothing about it, whatever. Didn't call and check because I do. I think maybe another week later, my sister called because she is absent-minded. She did not remember to tell me, but she was like, girl, I forgot to tell you, Miss Janet said that Mr. Paul, he passed. I was like, yeah, about like a 2 weeks ago or something. She was like, yeah, how you know? I was like, you really gonna ask me how I know? And she was like, oh my God, I'm just so outdone. I'm just done with you. And I was like, yeah, I was on my way to work and I thought of him and I knew, you know. But yeah, it's pretty amazing. But like I think maybe a few years later I met another one of their family members, and Miss Janice and me, my sister, Miss Janice and Miss Janice's sister were out at dinner, and Miss Janice said, oh, this is her. This is the one that told our niece about her dad. And she was like, you? So yeah, I have a gift that I do not tell people about. But I guess I just told everybody all of a sudden. Yeah, some people know about it, some people don't. But I chose to tell that particular story because I do have witnesses. I have a lot of witnesses to things that I've told people and it happened or it was going to happen. I don't tell like anything that will hurt somebody. I don't think I will get that type of information anyway, because if you know, like, you know what to say and what not to say. But anyway, so that's kind of not a ghost story, not a spirit story. I have plenty more of those. If you guys want to hear it, leave it in the comments and I'll tell a few more. But yeah, every now and then I think about Mr. Paul Ryan. Not Ryan, because that's what I said, but Mr. Paul Ryan. I hope he's resting in peace.
Yo, that's crazy. God knows what gifts to give you and who to give them to. There's some people in my family that have that gift. I'm glad I don't. I don't want to see those spirits. I don't think I do. I don't know. Seeing ghosts, I don't know. I guess it'd be cool. Like, in her situation is cool. She got to help people. She got to relay messages and everything, bring people together, give warnings. That's really cool. And if I had that gift, I would be fascinated and excited every time it happens, because that is super duper cool. I've heard of stories where people get warnings before the person died. I don't know how that works. I guess it's just like when you're talking about astral projecting. Maybe it's the same thing. When you're about to die, you're more sensitive, or you're more in tune with your chakras and everything, and you already know that you're about to transition, so your body and spirit is getting in the mood, the realm of that. Who knows? I don't know how it works, but it's very fascinating, and I'm so glad she got the help. I'm glad she told the story. I'm glad Miss Janice actually listened and wasn't, oh no, oh, she a witch or any other type of thing that church people be on. I'm so glad, because when she said that she ain't been to the church in a while, I completely understand. I understood, because some people I've heard experienced myself, because almost everybody in my family is a pastor minister, so I've been in churches and Bible studies and retreats and a lot of settings that are around Christianity, God, and religion and the church, where there's strong opinions about some things. Like, I was saying that this is me new to this area, because a lot of times these people don't really believe in ghosts. They believe in the Holy Ghost but don't believe in the ghosts. Don't understand that. Don't even understand that. Or there's some people that just do not believe that once somebody dies, their spirit can go around and say bye or say their farewells or, relay messages. Some people just do not believe that some spirits can stay here for a little bit, or they need help getting to heaven. Like, some people don't believe in that. So I completely understand what she was saying. Like, some people might not welcome me. Some people in the church might not welcome this and try to cast me away or whatever that. Understand. But I'm glad she got to share that. I'm glad she shared that with us. I'm glad they listened. I'm glad everyone was obedient. So glad about that, because it helped somebody out. She probably got to spend time with her dad before he passed, or she did before he passed on. So beautiful. Love it. Subscribe.